The statistics of the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria are grim as they are shocking, with one report estimating that around 300 million small and light weapons may be in circulation in the country. Another report put the figure at 4.5 million light weapons in active use across the country daily. That report also says 1 out of every 45 Nigerians bears illicit arm.
The genie is out of the bottle. The small arms and light weapons are making it possible for non-state actors to challenge the state because they have the same kind of capability that the state has. So it's a very big problem, and I think we should really be very concerned, particularly with the kind of figures we are seeing that Nigeria is predominating in terms of the destination of these small arms and light weapons.
Nigeria is currently battling Boko Haram in the northeast of the country, and in the southwest, the country's Air Force recently had to deploy fighter jets to bomb heavily armed militants and vandals operating around some creeks in the outskirts of Lagos. Militants are also waging an armed struggle in the Niger Delta region, bombing oil facilities at will and drastically cutting down the country's oil production level. Analysts say all these are the consequence of the proliferation of small and light weapons in the country, and that things could get worse if the government does not move fast to check the situation.
We should beam a searchlight on the political class because it is the politicians who, for the most part, import a lot of these pernicious weapons for their own ends. And when they lose elections, or even when they win elections, these weapons end up back in the hands of their supporters, who they imported the guns in the first place to arm. Now, we've seen that play out in the Niger Delta. Certainly, we've seen it play out also in the Northeast and in other parts of the country.
Government should be much more proactive when it comes to something like this, and then try to improve the economy, the youth restlessness, the unemployment that we see, ravaging the West African sub-region, are the things that make it easier for people who are social deviants to want to capitalize on the situation of the people, the helplessness of the people, and use them to destabilize, the society.
But the critical question for Nigeria on this issue remains where these weapons are coming from and how they get into the country undetected. Security experts say most of the weapons find their way in through Nigeria's porous border, and with officials at the borders turning the other way to allow smugglers in quite a number of cases. The borders to the north of the country have been identified as critical entry points, with most of the weapons coming from places like Libya and passing through Niger and Chad before finally getting here. Authorities in Nigeria have since set up a presidential committee on small arms and light weapons to check the flow. But the recent statistics we have seen clearly show that committee still has a mountain to climb if it hopes to achieve its mandate. Deji, Badmus, CCTV, Lagos, Nigeria.